Ah, woo.
Hi.
Hi, finally.
Yes.
Thanks to Nene for coming out to save the day. Nene, thanks so much. Our VP comes. Thank you. How you doing, Chiamaka? Finally, really people
Yeah, I'm great.
did not work.
How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. How do you feel about what's the name? Election was meant to be today, and then it was moved. Yeah. How do you feel though? What's the energy like?
Okay, I guess. I mean, it's
Yeah,
normal.
yeah. It's not
Hi.
good. We keep on praying for Nigeria.
Yeah.
So good evening, everybody. Good evening. Thanks for your patience. I mean, you guys waited for 15, 16 minutes. Thank you so
Yeah.
much. Yeah. Um, we would go right into the conversation today. Um, I'll just give a brief intro and then we'll welcome our special guest here. Yeah. So we have to join from my platform, but this is being organized by the Covenant University Alumni Association. But of course, I mean, everybody, you're all welcome to join, yeah, to join in the conversation as well. So, as an alumni association, for a couple of weeks now, we've been on this journey, um, and it's a journey around conversations that relates with wellness, yeah, with wellness, mind, body. I mean, some eagles have come online to be exercising, thanks to shutdowns, just the full package. Yeah. And now we want to explore an interesting topic. Yeah. It's a topic that I like it personally because it's something that when it comes to wellness, it doesn't really revolve around the conversation a lot. Yeah. And it's about traveling. It's about tourism. Yeah. We're going to discuss on wellness and see how tourism or traveling, can help improve the our wellness, help improve our well-being. Yeah, it's an important area, and to be honest, it's an area that we will need experts' advice. Yeah, expert advice. So this is not something that I can just go online to go and search. You can anyway, but I mean, we have an expert here with us. Yeah. So with us, we have Chiamaka. She will still do her own introduction, but let me just welcome her. Yeah. Chiamaka leads and runs social prefect. Yeah, first of all, that name like gold, like gold. So she leads and runs social prefect, and it will be she will she's definitely in the best position to really help us explore this topic here. So, Chiamaka, we're going to allow you to do an introduction of yourself. Yeah, I have a couple of questions to ask you, still in the introductory phase, though. So when you finish your introduction, then I'll come on board. Yeah, welcome, Chiamaka. Can we clap in the comment section, please? As Chiamaka comes on stage. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Hi, everyone. Good
Hi.
evening. So honored to be
Mm,
here. Thank you very much for having me. Thank you, Remi, for hosting.
welcome.
I'm super excited to be here because, I mean, it's home.
Yeah.
Covenant University is home, so basically, yeah, I'm excited to be
Yeah.
here. So hi everyone. My name is Chiamaka Obuekwe. You can call me Social Prefect. I'm the founder of Social Prefect Tours, a Nigerian tourism company, travel and tourism company, that specializes in creating unforgettable experiences. So basically, what we do is, create experiences for people from group tours to corporate retreats, team bonding experiences, to family vacations, honeymoon, basically any high social perfectors. So basically anything to take you out there, make you have a great experience,
Yeah.
relax and have memories that last a lifetime. So
Fine.
yeah, we do all that. And then we also span across various countries. So we don't just focus on, like Nigeria, Africa, but basically, like any interesting country in the world. Yeah. So that's it for now.
You see, the keyword that just jumped at me somebody already typed it. Unforgettable
Experience.
experiences. Naim, nice one. Yeah. So I mean, this is our own community, yeah, and it would be nice for us to know about the journey so far for you, yeah. So when did you graduate from Covenant? What set, what program, and how did you dive into this? Yeah.
Okay. So I studied international relations in Covenant University. I graduated in 2012. Uh, June this year
Are
would
you
make
serious? Just a set after me. Oh,
yeah.
nice.
June this year would make it 11 years since I graduated, and it's been an interesting journey, to be honest. So basically, how I started, or how like my company started and everything. I graduated in 2012, and then after graduation, I went on to do my NYSC the same year, and finished NYSC in 2013. So when I finished NYSC in 2013, I started working with Jumia Nigeria, and basically, like gaining the corporate experience. I started out with customer service, and actually it was all related. I tell people that different phases in my life and different things I did, like
They all connect.
related to later build social prefectures. So I also in Covenant University, I was a tour guide. So
Are you
yeah, there
serious?
was this thing called,
Interesting.
yes. So we had this thing called CU tour guides.
Okay.
Was hosted by, or started by one of our professors back then in CU, who was very passionate about us, like showing people what CU had to offer. So what we did back then was that, like we would show new students or incoming students and their parents around Covenant University. We would take them to tour, like show them and tell them, like, why they should eventually come to the school. We tell them the significance of each building, like we'll tell them about our core values, just basically how a tour guide does, So it was really interesting, and it really built my confidence. It made me interact more with people.
Well,
because
the training ground for you.
Yes.
Yeah.
So what, like we'll be in a bus filled with like parents of incoming students. I did that during like their exams, and then we would stand in front of the bus, driving around the school, telling them about school and all. I say it was really interesting.
Look to your right, that building. Look to your left.
To your right, we have the chapel. To your left, we have the library. Anyways, so it was really good. And yes. So after school, like in 2013, after I finished my NYSC, I was just like really interested in, and when I started working with Jumia, I was just really interested in. I've always been someone who loves to explore. I love to explore. I love to go out, meet people, go to new places, and then I started exploring around me. So when we talk about travel, there are different types of forms of traveling, and people think it's just when you buy a plane ticket, get a visa, and go abroad. No, traveling can actually start from around you. You can explore places around. So what I did was I was interested in going out, like exploring places and all that. So I started by exploring places around me. I would travel to, let's say, Ogun State, for example. I went to Olumoro. People had been there severally, but I went, with more, matured mindset and all. And then I'll explore that. I didn't stop there. I went to several places around Ogun State. If I went to Ibadan, for example, I went to Agodi Gardens. I went to the golf course. I went to so many places, explored. I was just exploring places around Nigeria. I even went as far as the north. I went to Bauchi. I went to Jos, several places. And then I started a blog documenting these places I was going to.
Your experiences and your journey.
Sorry?
No, like you are documenting your experiences and your journey.
Exactly. I was documenting my experiences on the blog and on social media. And then people started commenting and asking if they could actually join these tours that I was going on. They were like, oh, can I join you? Can I be part of this experience? I like this, looks fun, because I'll always make it look fun. So people started asking if they could join me to go on this trip. And I started thinking that, oh my God, there could actually be an opportunity
Yeah.
here. I saw that there was a problem. People probably wanted to travel, especially around Nigeria, but they didn't know how to go about it, and they probably didn't have people to go with. So I saw that there was a problem there, and decided to create like a solution for it. And one day I just decided to organize a group experience tour for people just somewhere in Lagos. I put out a flyer, I created a flyer on Canva, put it out on Instagram, put it out on Instagram, and asked people to join. And at the end of the day, we had like 10 people hear about join this experience. And I'm like, okay, there's something here. Then the next one, we went further to create better logistics around it.
Okay.
So we created better logistics around it, organized it from start to finish, organized transportation, the food, everything. And people had a really amazing experience. We explored Badagry. So we explored Badagry, which is like the ancient slave trade town in Lagos, rather. And people gained insights to the slave history and all. And it was very insightful. People met, and made new friends. It was just a really great experience.
And all this just within our own environment.
Yeah. And then, from then on, we started the company, registered, and, basically started growing from there. Then we did like, more tours outside Nigeria. We started doing tours first within West Africa, Benin Republic, Ghana, Togo, and then we grew from there. Our first tour outside West Africa was to Zanzibar in Tanzania, which is like in East Africa. And then from then on, we moved to other countries outside Nigeria, Africa, and then the world. And that's basically how the journey started. From me asking if they could join, and then starting out this company that organizes tours here.
Awesome. Like guys, like just show some love in the comments, session there to Chiamaka, because I really love how this is, you basically took your own experience or your own passion and turned it into this. Super well done to you, to your team and everyone. Just a fun question though. How many countries have you been to now?
Okay, I've been to 19 countries.
19. Which one have you gone to the most?
The most? Let's see. So it's between UAE and Benin Republic. Because Benin Republic is like here. So
it's like go to. It's like go to quick win.
So I've gone there a lot, but then also I've also been to UAE a lot as well. I think it's between years.
Okay. Which of in this 19, which one would you say has been like one of the best experiences for you?
Okay, that's really hard to be honest. I don't like to pick, best countries. Or I'll say one that had a very unique experience was definitely Jordan.
That's interesting.
Yeah,
that already sounds adventurous.
Visiting Jordan, you feel like, and going to the different cities there, you feel like you're in a different country at each point.
Wow. Interesting.
From Amman is the capital and the city capital. So it's really it feels like a proper city and with a different vibe. And then when you go to Akaba is where you have the beach vibes, the resorts and all. Then you can sleep in the desert in Wadi Rum. And oh my God, so Jordan is really amazing. You can go to Dead Sea, the Dead Sea where you can float in the sea and take a mud bath and it's really amazing. Jordan was beautiful, but it's not like my all-time favorite. I have different experiences in different countries.
I think what would make it significant would be on the person, on their interests, different things. So this can become subjective, but at least it's still nice to know what your own vibe is. And we're all going to write Jordan right now on our list. Let me write my own down. Everybody write your own list down. Okay, all right. So Okay, so let's go into the crux of the conversation. Yeah.
Okay.
How, in your own experience, as you relate with people doing all of these tours, yeah, how much of this traveling and exploration do you think how much impact do you think it has on the minds or on the wellness of people based on your own observation and interaction with people?
Okay. Okay, so basically wellness is like the general well-being of one, from
Yeah.
like the physical to the mind, to emotional basically.
Mm.
And traveling is one unique thing that aids you, or that helps rather, to create like an overall sense of well-being. And you may
Mm.
ask how, right? So, firstly, one thing travel does for me, I'm going to use myself as an example, and then also
Okay.
like from also the like now,
Customers.
no, my customers as well, like
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
feedback that we
Feedback.
and also I'll share like maybe a few stories.
Okay,
So
please do.
about two people, that have come on our trips in the past, have come to me and said, that this trip really helped them to, clear their mind and also feel better, because they were going through like a particularly difficult point in their life
Their
at the time
lives.
they took the trip, and they needed to escape. For example, one of our customers or clients, we like to call them socialites. Recently lost her husband.
Wow.
He had passed away. And I think it was like a few months after she took the trip. And, she made new friends. I think it was Mauritius we went to.
Mm.
She made new friends, stayed by the beach, enjoyed the resort, did some water sports, just cleared her mind. I mean, not like obviously this totally, healed her.
Yes.
It was part of
Yeah.
process that
Part
made
of the
her feel better.
process.
And she also made new friends that have become like close friends to her
Mm.
up till now. And this trip was about maybe 4 years ago, and she still talks to some of the people that she
About,
met on that trip.
wow.
And this just helped made her feel better in her mind at that point in time. After
Mm.
after that devastating loss that she suffered.
Mm.
So definitely traveling helps you to it helps clear your mind. First of all, it reduces stress and anxiety. Many times we feel burnt out, like at work.
Yeah.
We've worked for a really long period. We've worked for a really long period. We've
Yeah.
gone through so much stress, and I mean, many times you're looking for what to do. You don't really have to buy a plane ticket, to be honest. You can just take a road trip, go to. I mean, now it's not really safe to
I
go far
understand.
like, where you live in, but
Yeah.
depending on people on this life, not everybody lives in Nigeria. So I'm not just going
Yeah.
to be, focusing on Nigeria alone.
Yeah.
There's
Yeah.
so many people here probably live in Canada, the UK, US, or in other states in Nigeria,
In
maybe
Nigeria.
Abuja, Kaduna, Ibadan, and so on and so forth. So,
Yeah.
for example, people who live in Lagos, you can buy a train ticket and
Ticket.
then go somewhere like Ibadan or Abeokuta, like a weekend away, book a hotel or a resort,
Yeah.
like maybe climb Olumo Rock, come down, just simple experiences
Yeah.
that not necessarily break the bank, but will have you feeling recharged and feeling better. So that's one thing it does. Like you may have been feeling like really anxious and like a lot of things are clouding your mind. But if you take
Mind.
a break, you take a trip, that helps clear your mind in some way. That's one thing I found has been really helpful and useful for me, while traveling. Also,
Let me add something, sorry.
okay,
It's not even like adding plus the question. Yeah. Sometimes the way our mind works is like we are in this stress bubble. Yeah. But we feel like we still want to stay there to figure it out. Yeah. And maybe what we need sometimes is just to leave this stress and even like physically leave the stress in its own location and go to another location, But I feel like there's this, it's like when you take this type of trips, you know, we like to stay in the known. Taking these trips is going into like the unknown. Yeah, I think it's in a way it might even be like a courageous thing to even do. Yeah, yeah, and I like the advice on it does not have to be a plane ticket. Yeah, because this thing, in fact, there's still another part. Maybe if you can, I like how you've already shared light on taking this exploration on a budget. Yeah, so that everybody knows that there's an option for them. Yeah, yeah. All right, go ahead, please. You're about to share another point.
Yes. Okay, so that brings us to the second point, because you mentioned something, you know, how it's even a matter of courage, and then also how, you know, when you're going through something like maybe stress at work or something, and you don't want to leave that environment. When you leave that environment, you just want to solve the problem. But the thing is, taking that trip actually would help you solve the problem. And that brings us to the second point, which is traveling helps to boost creativity.
Yeah.
So you may have had like like a mind fog for a while, like you're trying to figure out something, maybe like
writer's block.
Ideas, you're trying to get new ideas, you're trying to, you know, figure out something that's stressful, like with work or life generally, and you take a trip or you go somewhere, you have a new experience, not necessarily taking a trip like I keep mentioning, but you know, to get a new experience. You realize that, you know, at that point, like your creativity level is boosted. I don't know how many people have experienced this. If you've ever experienced this, you can mention in the comment session. But many times,
please.
I what's it called? I just have some new ideas. I think a lot of ideas that I've had have come on trips. You know, it just makes me, from seeing the new environment around me, you know, like meeting people, having deep conversations, laughing, and forgetting, like, you know, maybe my present situation or just something that's stressing me out. I just have this, like, my mind is feeling a lot more creative, and it feels like, you know, I can take on some particular challenges that I have been facing, you know, from just leaving my environment. A change of environment is always a great idea, you know, if you're looking to boost your creativity or get new ideas.
I think this particular one is something people should likely try. Like, you know, we are still in Q1, as people are even trying to even figure out what is this year for me. Yeah. And it's actually hard to like figure out those things in the midst of all of the noise going on. Yeah. I'm sure that some people who need breakthrough in their projects and things like this. I'm sure this is actually going to be a very good suggestion for them. Yeah. Yeah. Thank you, Chiamaka. Continue, please.
Yeah. Okay. Another thing that travel does is, well, this one is very obvious, and it helps you, like, it exposes you to new things, which helps you create, you know, great memories. So the thing about memories is there are certain times where, you know, like you're living life on a day-to-day basis, you know, and you're in a state of, you know, you're like in a very normal state, or you're just in maybe a state that you're not even very happy with. But when you look back at memories that you've made, I guess it makes you so happy. So it's important to build your memory bank and feel it like really interesting memories, you know, of things that you've done. Maybe you've gone skydiving, maybe you've gone bungee jumping, zip lining, underwater, or it doesn't even have to be all those, you know, like
extreme sports.
Things, extraordinary things. It can even be as little as just maybe a new food you get, or like strangers at night, like, you know, in a different country, or, you know, laughing or meeting someone you've never met in your life before who can't even speak English, you know, but you guys connected in some way, and you just had, like, you know, this new high, just new different experience, but it made you feel better. So building a memory bank really helps you, you know, in your day-to-day life, because like I believe everyone here lives a normal life, and at some point it can get boring. You know, at some point it can get, you know, like it can feel like you're
mundane.
repeating Yeah,
norm.
mundane, like you feel
Yes.
the same things. But creating a memory bank is very important for you because it helps you to remember great experiences,
Yeah.
and it just
Yeah.
fills your life with new and exciting things. So
Yeah.
that's very important, you know.
Yeah.
Yes.
Wow, man. See that one of memory bank is like I'm taking that advice so much. Yeah, because even from the small memories that I have, when I reflect on them, I can on my own I can make myself happy. Yeah,
Exactly.
I make myself happy, and I even find like some form of inspiration to venture into some other things as well. Yeah, thanks so much,
Yeah.
Chiamaka. Thanks so
Yeah,
much.
exactly.
Yeah,
And then, of course, I think there's so many, benefits and importance of travel to your wellness. But I'm just going to stop at the last point, which is,
okay.
travel helps you to disconnect and then recharge. So basically, this is, it helps you to recharge and like create like a new feeling.
It's like a
Not like,
refresher.
yeah, it's a
Yeah,
refresh. So, like we said, like you may have been going through your daily routine and it becomes like mundane, and you go for a trip. Maybe you're lodged in a really nice resort or hotel, or it doesn't even have to be like a
like a
something out
very
you
fancy out of the world.
experience,
Yeah,
and like this refreshes you. It makes you come back feeling energized. It brings you back to that new energy that you need to complete your new tasks and projects
yeah,
that maybe have been delaying. Or so yeah,
yeah.
it's like exactly like Tolu said, it's like a body power bank really.
Power bank.
So whenever
Yeah.
you feel low, I suggest that you try having a new experience. It may be leaving your city, it may be staying in your city and doing something there, but yeah, it really makes you feel like energized, or yeah, like
Yeah.
having a new helps you feel energized.
Yeah. I feel like guys, please, if you have questions for Chiamaka, put them in the comment section and we'll get to them. I feel like one of the things that we need to there needs to be some relearning as well. Yeah. Because these things are not things that we're actually used to, particularly in our own African context. Yeah. Um, I remember when I went for a training in the UK, and let me assume the training was to end. Let me assume it was to end on the 12th. I booked my return for the 13th, and I remember someone telling me that, Remi, what are you doing? I'm like, oh, I don't understand. He said, you have left Nigeria, like you finished your training. Why are you rushing back? Like, can't you give yourself a breather?
Exactly.
And since then, but my mind is not was not used to that at that point. This was like maybe 5 years ago or something. Yeah. But since then, I've taken that as a an important advice. Yeah. When you have an opportunity to explore, to go on an adventure, like maximize it. Yeah. Maximize it. Like take some time, off as well and explore. Yeah, a lot of us might really find so much value in because we don't yet know what this new adventure might do because we've never experienced it. Someone like you've traveled a lot, so you can tell of the benefits here. But if people who haven't tried this new arc in quotes, yeah, I would just advise that we should have some courage in it. Yeah, in it as well. Yeah. One question on my mind is, do you think there's an impact on personality when it comes um to taking on trips like this? Yeah, whether introvert, extrovert, do you think there's an impact to it? Yeah, or if I'm an introvert, I should just know that it's cancelled for me. Like there's no there's no opportunity for me to push myself. Yeah, because for some people it might come very natural. Yeah, and then for some people it might look like a struggle till they are there in that location. The entire journey might look like a struggle. Yeah, what do you think about personality with this?
Okay, well, first of all, I would say that there's no bad personality type, or there's no like, you know, an introvert. Being an introvert is not a bad thing. Yeah, so I think we should clear that first. Like, yeah,
No, I agree, of course.
I get your
Standard,
point.
yeah.
No,
Yeah.
I'm getting somewhere.
Okay, okay.
So, whether you're an introvert or an extrovert, there are different types of traveling that would, suit you,
Yeah.
basically. So, some people like to, travel solo. Some people prefer to travel with a group. Some people prefer, if it's only people they know. While some people prefer, meeting new people.
New people.
And whichever, form of travel you choose, or whichever type of travel you prefer, I don't think it's a bad thing necessarily. It's good to push oneself and to try new things, right? That exposes us, that helps our personality, that helps us to improve, and it's beneficial in several ways. But I don't think it's necessarily a bad thing to be an introvert. But that doesn't mean that there are so many introverts that travel. I must tell you, like, there's so many introverts that come, join our trips, even the group trips. They don't book like private trips for their, they join the group trips, they laugh, they make new friends, but they go back and, they're calm, they're indoors. But for that point in time, they're pushing themselves because they know the benefit. But yes, I think that helps to, make us more confident, because you're out there in the world. Traveling is, it's a very courageous thing to do. Because it's like the unknown. You're going to a new country. You probably don't know, the language. Like,
their food.
Their food, exactly.
No
and
jollof fries. Hey God.
Like, traveling helps us to know and realize that, we are living in just a small part of the world. That there's so much more out there. There's so much more to cover. That this world is such a big place. And that you cannot just be in this your small tiny corner thinking that this is what the world is about. There's so much more out there that that the world has to offer. So this is one thing that traveling does. Like, it helps you to be more confident. When people travel, they get to meet new people, make new friends. I mean, you're just walking on the streets, you're probably having a tour, and you meet maybe somewhere in Egypt, and then you meet some Arab, you meet some new Arab friends, and you discover some things about their culture and know that, oh, this is so different from how things are being done in Nigeria or where I'm from. And you're like, okay, wow, this is new, I like this. Or you learn new things, you expose your mind, so this really helps to make you a better person, because you learn to understand people more, you learn to be more accommodating, you just learn to be a better person all around. Not necessarily you don't have to like necessarily change your personality type, but it just helps you to be a better person. Whichever personality you choose, you learn to accommodate people who are of a different personality from you. You learn to accommodate everybody in the world. You know that even if someone is from a different religion or a different way of thinking, a different culture, you accommodate everybody, because it just makes you more understanding.
Solid. For people who are going to be trying this for the first time, how can they start, and what advice can you give them?
Okay, how can they start to travel?
Yes. And what advice can you give them along the way?
Okay, thank you for that question. That's a very great question. So to start traveling, I think the first and most important thing is to actually prioritize it. A lot of people don't know the benefits of traveling. That's why they've never tried it. I know the thing is, it's before, or traveling just became a more, I think as social media age grew, traveling to different countries and
became like a thing
that people have never even heard about, just became more popular. As a matter of fact, before, what Nigerians used to do actually is maybe just go to the UK or US, spend like 2 weeks with their family members, and they shop and come back. And then when places like Dubai in UAE opened up for tourism, or became really popular for tourism, Nigerians will now go to Dubai and then go there, shop, do one or two tours and come back. But I think as the social media age grew, and people started to see other people from different parts of the world, take interest.
There's more information.
Exactly. And then you know, you could now see pictures firsthand or videos of like different parts of the world.
Wow.
And you're like, oh my God, I never knew that
This thing day.
So then it created that hunger to want to visit these places. You know, before, like I never knew what, maybe for example, like Jordan that we had mentioned earlier,
Yeah.
I never knew what it was like. But when I saw pictures and videos of Petra, the ancient city of the Dead Sea, I wanted to go there. You know, when I saw pictures of maybe the pyramids of Giza, I'd heard about it, you know, maybe read about the Bible, but I'd never like seen like an actual picture of it or like a video of it. When I saw it, it made me want to go there. So I would say that I think social media has really impacted the way people travel more and more. Now people see other people's experiences and want to, you know, like go on these experiences.
I've seen.
Yes.
Yeah.
You know, it inspires you. Other people's travel experiences inspires you to travel as well. That has really helped. And so I think now a lot of people know that traveling is beneficial. And from the things that we have talked about earlier, you know, how it helps boost your creativity, makes you a better person, you learn and discover new cultures, you see new things, you know, makes your personality better and all that. We now know that traveling is beneficial. So the first step to take will be to prioritize it. Their traveling is very expensive, so they never even dream about it. They're like, okay, well, maybe when I become rich, I'll travel. When I have money, when I have disposable income. But the truth is that if you don't prioritize it, you will never attain it. You know, so like you have to first prioritize it, and you do this by knowing that it's important, and then setting out time and money to do it. Okay.
I think you can always just save towards it, depending on the cost anyway, whether it will take you 6 months, 9 months, 3 months.
Exactly. So then that brings us to the next point, which is after you prioritize it, then you have to save towards it. So the thing is, a lot of people say, okay, I can't afford to travel. But anytime the latest iPhone comes out, or like the latest comes out,
the money comes out too.
They probably have money for like the most expensive hairs. You know, some of them like to party or like to eat out, maybe at the latest or the newest restaurant. And the money you actually spend, you know, doing all these things, it's not bad. If you love to do something, I think you should go out and do it, right? But don't say that you don't have money to travel when you have not prioritized it, when you have not saved towards it, you know, because actually do some calculations, you find out that several things that you actually spend money on, you know, could have actually bought you a plane ticket.
I know, right? Over time, like you bought your plane ticket.
Out, maybe like, you know, have brunches every Sunday. Brunches are not cheap, right? And for example, where I live in Lagos, Nigeria, an average brunch per person, average will probably cost you around maybe 20-something thousand naira.
And that's average. If you want to up it.
Exactly. You know, restaurants are not very cheap. And if you have that lifestyle, you know, like at the end of the day, you find out that maybe like in a month or maybe accumulation of 3 months, you probably spent like 150,000 to 200,000 on a restaurant. And if you just add a little more money, you know, you can actually buy a plane ticket. So if you can buy a plane ticket with 200,000 naira to maybe Ghana, for example. And if you go to Ghana, you have a nice experience there. And some people have never been there, you know, wondering how can I go there when they haven't, you know, saved and planned towards it. So I think planning and saving is, you know, one very important thing. Some people may say, oh, my problem is time. I don't have time. But if you look at it critically, we all have some time. I know people may be busy with their work, you know, they may not have access to like a really long leave time and all that, but the truth is that we all have, okay, so in Nigeria, for example, we have public holidays. For example, Easter is coming up, and you know, for brunch there's rice at all. Okay, so for example, Easter is coming up, and have at least 4 days holiday. Okay, so if you add the Good Friday, Saturday and Sunday, Easter Monday, that gives you at least 4 days to go somewhere. You can now take you can now request for maybe 2 extra days leave to add to your travel time, and you can travel somewhere. You know, you can travel to 5 nights, 4 nights is like enough to give you like a good restful travel holiday, and then you come back feeling renewed, refreshed, and relaxed really. So I think we can all create time. We can all plan ahead, ask for the leave that you need from your office, from your workplace. Take time out, because at the end of the day, you know, if you don't take the time, I think it would eventually catch up with you. Maybe like by feeling extremely distressed, or you know, like really meeting some blockage in your mind in terms of like extreme fatigue. But
having
then
low
now,
energy.
right, exactly, you need a break. Sometimes you may now be forced to take the break, because some people eventually break down with some sickness or the other, you know. So it's important to take those breaks. So first of all, you have to prioritize it. You know, you have to check your spending, expenditure, like what are you spending money on, and how can you channel it towards taking a holiday or taking a break, a time out to travel. Then you save towards it. If you want to travel to, let's be more practical now. If you want to travel to maybe Benin Republic, let's just use that as an example. A 3 night holiday in Benin Republic, you know, would cost around maybe 250,000 naira. So if you need to,
how many days is that?
Yeah, I said like a 3-4 day holiday
3-4 day
in
holiday.
Benin Republic, and, you know, in a nice resort with all the experiences, transportation and all, can cost you about 250,000 naira on an average, for example. So now we're being more practical. If you want to achieve that in maybe 2 to 3 months time, or maybe 4 months, you can save like 50,000 naira per month. Okay, that's 5 months, and at the end of the 5th month, you have your 250,000 naira, and then you go to Benin Republic, for example, or if you want to buy a plane ticket to Ghana, and we're starting out, you know, like with the less expensive ones, and then if you save or plan ahead more, you can decide to travel once a year, and maybe in summer, so you start saving from like, you know, January, and by July or August, you have your cash travel. Sometimes, you know, you don't even have to like really think about it. Because if you think about it as a whole, it may seem like really expensive. So you have to start small. You have some people.
So that's a quick question. What do you think the average cost would be if you were doing that within Nigeria? Like I know we've used the
Nigeria.
Yes. If you for a newcomer, you want to start exploring within Nigeria, what can be like an average cost?
It depends on where you want to go. Nigeria, there are several resorts, there are several, you know, places you can go. In fact, sometimes traveling within Nigeria can be as expensive as traveling, you know, because, you know, like they're not very cheap, and this is because of, you know, things that they have to do in their resorts, like, you know, providing power, electricity, and all that.
The services they have to provide.
Exactly. So there are different resorts, but there are some that are really affordable. I mean, for example, we're not advertising any resort here, but you can try. An example is like Ebe Resort. I think an average room there costs 45,000 naira. If you're sharing that with somebody, you know that you're splitting the bill, and 45,000 naira divided by 2 is about 25,000 naira per person, like 22,500 per person. So basically, you know that maybe if you're spending 2 or 3 nights there, you have to put in your cost for transportation, cost for feeding, and then on an average, you know that will cost you about 100,000 naira. I think that's like a bit practical, and then with that, you know that you can have a relaxed. It's a really nice serene environment. It's an escape. You're not in like, you know, mainland Lagos, so you know there's no noise. It's a proper escape, so that can give you a proper holiday. So for those that want to start from Nigeria, I think, you know, budgeting somewhere between 100 and 150,000 naira with the start, you know, and from there you can move on up.
I'm happy we are having this conversation now, because it's still in the first part of the year. You know, people can quickly start to plan for the next 3 months or 6 months. Yeah. A key word that you really just mentioned now was prioritization. Yeah.
By mainland Lagos, I meant your mainland and island, not. I meant the main city. That was
Yeah, yeah. The busiest part of Lagos.
yeah, the busy
Yeah,
Lagos.
yeah.
Yeah,
Highly
like
commercial parts.
most
Yeah,
outskirts of Lagos.
yeah, yeah. So yeah, so I was saying about prioritization. Yeah, yeah, so that it does not become like a wishful thinking. If it's very important, yeah, I think people should put it into their plans as well. Yeah, and one way that you are sure that you are actually taking the right step is when you start saving towards it. Then you know that this thing is getting real. This thing is
Exactly.
getting real. Yeah. When are your next trips?
Okay, so we have several trips. So actually, you don't even necessarily have to join like a group trip.
Okay.
Like you can, come with your friends. Maybe you can gather a few of your friends, like five of you. Maybe even like if you have a partner or your husband or wife, it can just be the two of you, and you decide to just take a trip. You can
Yeah.
contact us. We have, plans to different countries. We have a group trip coming up to Singapore for
Okay.
Easter, and more trips
For
coming.
Easter. Okay.
Whether you want to go to Mauritius, Jordan, Egypt, you want to go to Zanzibar in Tanzania, you want to go to Ghana, you want to go to Cote d'Ivoire, any country really,
Okay.
Senegal. You can just plan to go with a few of your friends, and you guys can contact us. We put together like a package for you based on your budget.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah. Man, like Chiamaka, thanks so much. Yeah. I really hope this is something that, as I said, our own, culture yet doesn't yet appreciate a lot of this, and definitely from generation, things are changing. As you said, social media is impacting more about our knowledge, about this value. Yeah, and I'm really hoping that I myself, including everybody, can begin to practice these things. Yeah. The little I've done, I've actually witnessed the impact. I've seen the impact, you know, on myself, and I think um the wisdom here will be to like plan for more. Yeah. Yeah. Chiamaka, thanks so much. We are gradually approaching the end. Yeah. I would allow you to say some final words, yeah, for the IG Live. Yeah, but just before that, I would also like to speak to the alumni members, yeah, about what they can expect at least within this month. Yeah. For everybody that has been following the wellness series, thank you so much. Yeah, and I really hope that you've been getting the benefits. Yeah. Today we had Chiamaka, talking to us about the wellness, sorry, about travel and wellness. It's part of our wellness series. Yeah. Please, if you came late, we're going to save it. You can go watch it and learn a whole lot. Yeah. She's the founder and CEO of Social Prefects Tours. You can check them up, yeah, and join some of their trips or reach out to them for more information. Yeah. We have I think two main updates is one, there's going to be a town hall, yeah, a virtual town hall meeting coming up this month on the 25th. Yeah, please, let's try and be there. We're going to learn more. There's a lot that the alumni has planned for you this year. There's a lot alumni has planned for you this year. So please try and be there. Try and be there. Yeah. And it will be fun. 25th, 8 p.m. 25th, 8 p.m. Just be active on all of our communication channels, and the emails will be sent out, and you can get the link. You can join the link here. From a business point of view, there's a special announcement coming out this month, most likely next week. Yeah, so business people in the house, there's a special announcement coming up for you entrepreneurs. Please stay tuned, watch out here. We don't have maybe like less than 5 minutes or something. Chiamaka, what would be like your last, advice to close this, last word to close this?
Okay, so I would say that traveling is the best form of education. We all have gone to school. a lot of us down this life are graduates. Maybe a covenant university, because I know that some of my followers as well have joined, and not all of them graduated
Cool.
university, but
Yeah.
the CU alumni platform. So I believe that a lot of us have, experienced formal education, but the truth is that main education is, like when we learn about other cultures, about other things that are away from like, our everyday life.
Yeah.
Traveling makes us more aware of the world and what it has to offer. It expands your mind like nothing else does. If you travel, you're educated about how other people live. You get to be more accommodating about other people's cultures, their way of life. It also teaches you how to be a better person to yourself and to the environment and the world at large. I think that's like the best form of education. Starting from the airport, you learn more, you're exposed to more. It really exposes you in a way that nothing else will do. It's like the best form of first-hand education that anybody will have. So I encourage everyone to try as much as possible, step out of their comfort zones, like go to some place new. If you're in Lagos, for example, I mean, when it was safe we used to go all the way to the north. Even from Abuja by road, we'll drive all the way to Bauchi, and that's not really anymore. So I'm not advising anyone to do that. But reading is good. Reading also really exposes your mind, especially about other countries, about other people, their way of life. But if you want first-hand knowledge of how the world works, and if you're going to play a big part in making the world a better place, then definitely travel, because that's like the only way you're going to gain information on how it works. So step out of your comfort zone, explore, and have great experiences, fill your memory banks, and that's what makes your life more interesting and full.
Chiamaka, just dropping nuggets, man. Book the full. Traveling is education. If you're going to play a big part in changing the world, I mean, that's a very, very valid point there. Yeah. Memory bank, these are some of the things that I personally will be taking along here. Thank you so much, Chiamaka. Yeah, we've come to the end now. Guys, thanks so much. The replay will be available. You can watch it again, share with your own community, and till the next time we meet, have an amazing one. And we hope to hear our stories of traveling, please. We hope to hear the stories so that take some action. We still have 9 more months this year for you to take an action. Travel to your village if the Lord is, you understand, leading you. You can travel. Go and see grandma, go and see grandpa, start from there. But 50K, you've gone, you've come back. 50K is even too much. You've gone, you've come back.
It depends on
It depends on what your village is. Noted, yeah. Thanks so much, Chiamaka. Have an amazing day. God bless you. All right. Bye-bye.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.